So the water source is the stream running down into this bog over here. There's my stuff. I'm gonna get the shelter out and the stove and start setting it up. It's probably 40 degrees right now. I'm warm because I was hiking, but I'm definitely gonna cool off quick. I'll set up my other camera and get you guys a view of what's going on, and then we'll go collect some firewood and water. There's a little bit of down wood here, that's why I chose this spot. I looked for the place with some wood, and there's a lot of pieces all over the ground. So the wood stove should have plenty of firewood tonight. See how much I can process. All right, well, we'll get back to you guys. Man, that was a heck of a hike. There was a cave nearby I wanted to show you guys, but there's already some guys hanging around it with a dog, and let them go ahead and have their fun and move on, and maybe I'll go back the same way tomorrow and catch it when no one's there, and we can have some good old YouTube time at a cave nearby. So it's about 40 degrees, and I definitely pulled 6 ticks off my pants legs. So you got to watch out for ticks all the way down to the 30s. I think it's like 32. They keep operating. So even though it's cold, I still have a little bit of bug juice, and I'm still looking for ticks. And I'm wearing my light colored pants so I can find them easy. So it's pretty awesome. I saw the whole herd as they were trying to get me. It's a food bag. It's my pot, Tyvek, camera equipment, first aid kit, Bushcraft stuff, and got a tent. Well, it's pretty cool out. You know, it's chilly, so my camera battery's not really going the distance, but most batteries don't do very well when they're exposed to cold. That's why car batteries in the north have to be plugged in over the winter, things like that. But I got a pretty good fire going in there. It's 3 a.m. and I woke up pretty cold, so I fired up the stove. I guess we're fogged up here. Man, it's a little bit chilly. So one of the ways I offset the weight of the stove and bigger tent is by carrying a smaller sleeping bag, which is not as warm. So the part of the plan is to actually fire up the stove if I get cold enough at night. So I think we're working at about, it's definitely in the 30s, and my sleeping bag is only going to keep me warm into the low 40s maybe. But anyway, this is my 3 a.m. warm up. Well, it's 5:30 a.m. and I stoked up the fire again. So I only stoked it up at 3 and at 5. And my sleeping bag is definitely not enough for tonight, which is fine because I have a hot tent, you know. So normally on a night like tonight, I would have brought like a 15 or a 0-degree bag to be comfortable without worrying about it. You know, if it gets down to 30 and you have a 30-degree bag, you're going to be cold. And if it gets down to 30 and you're in a 15-degree bag, you're going to feel better. In a 0-degree bag, you're going to be comfortable. So a lot of times people don't realize those ratings are only survivability. So, you know, it's part of my job to know the ratings of sleeping bags and what that means. And, you know, even working at outdoor stores before, I've had to sell them, and even people that sell them don't know. A lot of times that I go into an outdoor store and I wander around looking at stuff, and then I overhear someone telling someone something, you know, a person that works there, that gives somebody advice that's not correct. You know, it's something that I've heard before, and people say it all the time, but it's not correct. You know, so a person was saying that they were cold at night, and the answer to that was wear a hat and gloves when you're asleep. Well, the first question is, what degree sleeping bag do you have? And, you know, you need to get one with a lot better rating, you know, that goes down a lot farther. So, you know, tonight, I did it on purpose, but a lot of people don't. Just because they don't know, they end up in the woods with a 45-degree sleeping bag freezing at 45 degrees. So, you know. This changes the ball game. Well, this is my 6 a.m. coffee. Like I said earlier, this is only the second time I've had to stoke the little fire, or relight it even. You know, I had to relight it at maybe 3, and then I stoked it up again at 5. Still had some coals going. First cup of coffee. I have gotten a little signal with my phone, so I've been able to to thumbs up some comments and things, but I'll reply to the comments later from the last couple of videos. And I don't think I'm ignoring you guys. Sometimes I'm just in the woods. Yeah, I still can't believe how many ticks I had on me yesterday and how cold it is. I mean, I know the facts, and I know they operate down to 30, but, man, it stinks when you see a bunch on you. Oh. Cheers. That's coffee made on a wood-burning stove in a tent, and so we made dinner on it, stayed warm. You know, I had a few branches that I stuck in here that I couldn't break, but I have the little Baco. You guys can see him. He's worse for wear. But that Baco keeps me warm at night sometimes also, because I just saw some wood down so it fits in the stove. That sawing action will warm me up. So it's pretty warm in here. Coffee is good. Alright, when the sun comes up, we'll get some more done. Got my good work gloves. I got the Baco and the Witterlings. This is a good little hatchet. We abuse it and hardly ever have to do anything to it. It stays sharp. It's got such a great profile in the blade. It's a great tool. I'm gonna get the Woodsman's. Then I'll have two. Yep. That's starting to kick back up. You guys, but I got the last of my water in here. It's warming up for a second cup of coffee, and starting to get organized. I got my little possibilities bag with the Baco, the Laplander, and then the Witterlings tiny hatchet. Got my work gloves here. This is also my Tinder bundle bird's nest collection pouch. I also collect mushrooms in this one. Pretty much a possibilities bag. There we go. Just got some nice paracord. But my buddy Dave, he's in the Northfield to Placid videos. My buddy Dave gave me this paracord and I liked it. I have some other with a different pattern on it, but I like this one, and I only have that color paracord from when Dave gave it to me. I think I just said when Dave gave it to me. When Dave gave it to me. That sounds awesome. But anyway, we're getting everything organized, starting to get it ready. And I took a branch that was fallen out of a tree, and I made my middle pole just like that. So that's what I like about these teepee tents. It's half tent, half tarp, half bushcraft. So, and that's too many halves, but whatever. We got, it's just a tarp, which is bushcraft style, but it's also a tent. It does have a door and a zipper, which is nice. And then has no floor, so you're still immersed in nature. And it has something that you need some kind of tools to make a pole with. I guess you could find a dead one and break it, but it won't be as good as something you would need to saw. There's my bushcraft knife. And I like these little knobs. I got my water filter there. I was hanging my headlamp all night there. Yep. So I've got Leaves me one more serving. Maybe I'll have that later. If I can stop and build another little fire. Make a little breakfast, lunch, brunch. It looks hot enough to me. So overnight I lost at least almost a quarter of a liter of water on the stove. I just left it there and it boiled out. That's the good thing about this titanium. You don't have to worry about that as much. Didn't hurt it, didn't, just left the marks where the water boiled out, and that's it. And this is the Evernew titanium. I think Evernew still has products coming out. I'm not sure. It seems like REI changed that up. Maybe they took it over or just came up with their own line. But this pot is brilliant. It's got a little dimple here, so it pours like a kettle. The lid stays on awesome. It's got a little silicone right here. You know, I used to have some on the handle, but I used it on the fire so much that I burned it off. But yeah, I use this thing the whole Appalachian Trail. I've had it since 2005, maybe. That's coming up on 10 years. And this was a $49 pot 10 years ago. So you guys do the math, decide if you think it's worth buying titanium. But I tell you what, this is a lot lighter than my GSI stainless steel kettle. The Kettlist. I love that thing and I carry it all the time. But, you know, this thing is so much lighter. And you can actually cook in it. I mean, you can cook in the other one in a pinch, but I don't really like cooking in a kettle. That's for boiling water. So, anyway.